had a look at your CV. It's really nice. It's nice. It's good.
What makes you think you're BBC material?
I'm quite good at.
Good at what? No qualifications, no experience.
It has been really nice meeting you, though. Thank you for coming down.
Can I just say what
You cannot. I think that's about it. Have you ever heard the expression, a big waste of time? A big waste of time. A big waste of time.
This is BBC One in the West. Now the news with Fiona Bruce and Will Glennon.
So, is the BBC actually for us?
Of course not. You haven't got a media degree. I don't think so. I'm going to prove you wrong. Watch this.
It's not impossible to join the media industry without a degree in media.
I went to university and studied mechanical engineering and automotive design and manufacture, and I failed. It wasn't for me, it wasn't what I wanted to do, it didn't inspire me, and it's not where my passion was, and my passion's always been photography.
I felt that you could do it by starting at the bottom, so I became a phone answerer at Radio Gloucestershire. And from there, I started bringing in stories, and it took a long time before they even gave me a chance to go on air.
My first ever job in television was as an assistant floor manager for a shopping channel, and it paid me practically no money and was really difficult, but it was a kind of place that I picked because it let me work my way up.
What advice would you give anyone who wanted to get into the media industry?
You need to be curious about people's stories. If you don't have that curiosity, you're never really going to make it in the media.
If you don't have the instinct to be a journalist, I don't think a media or journalism degree will help a lot.
I work in the BBC and I enjoy the work that I do in the BBC, but the one thing that I really struggle with is the size of it and the way that it's a massive machine and it has to be like that. There's no other way for it, so you have to jump through hundreds of hoops endlessly, and I feel that it stifles, personally, my creativity.
But you have to be determined, you have to set out your goal and know what you want.
I've never taken no for an answer. When I've gone to somewhere and I've said I'd like to have a job here, and they go, no, you're not quite what I want, I've decided that's not the case. I don't care. I am the right person.
I think the BBC is for young people. I hope the BBC is for everyone, and young people included.
I think the BBC is for me, for you, and for everyone.
I don't study media. I have no qualifications in it, but I love filming and I'm passionate about it, so I know it's possible.
I think it could be if I was prepared to work under the constraints that the BBC has, but I also think it would be a really good opportunity to work with lots of people who are creative and are driven.
It's a real challenge, can be quite tiring, you're always on your toes, so yep, I think the BBC is for me.
If I want the BBC to be for me, it will be. As long as I'm persistent and I know what I want and I head for it, I can make it in the BBC.
If you look at the globe here, it'll say BBC Weather in association with the Met Office, and then my name. And I actually am employed by the Met Office. So how did I get into weather forecasting and where I am now on the BBC? Well, I started off as a weather observer at RAF Lynham in Wiltshire. And then I went and had a stint down at Exeter, where I have to say skies were rather gloomy down there. I didn't get a chance to really shine. So I upped and left and went all the way up to RAF Honington up in Suffolk, where things began to pick up. It brightened up considerably for me. And then I went off to the Met Office training centre near Reading, where they taught me all the weird and wonderful things about weather, which I know now. And I brought those skills to the BBC here in Bristol. And this, hopefully, is where people think I shine. And it's here where basically I'm employed as a gap filler. 2.5 minutes of weather gap filled each night to the nearest second. Time's up.